afternoon. I'm fortunate enough that Witbank News on the 5th of June 2026 reached out and asked for my response. The mainstream and big house media companies make no effort to get our side of the story. When the SIU is doing something, there is lots of coverage. When the SIU loses the case and is ordered to pay costs, they give no coverage. But SIU and ENCA need the drama to cover up the hopeless investigation and clear failures in their processes. I want to inform the public of this case regarding the SIU and Omar's motorden and exactly what is going on. On the 9th of October 2025, the SIU acquired a preservation order regarding vehicles they say are owned by Morgan Maumela. Thereafter, they went to Maumela's residence and attached vehicles. The same time, when they were at Maumela's residence, they visited Omar's motorden in Witbank on the early part of the morning. When I arrived at the dealership, the SIU's big army and the sheriff was here. SIU asked to attach and remove a Rolls-Royce, 2 Aston Martins, and 2 Ferraris. They insisted that they are taking these vehicles. We then contacted our attorneys. When our attorney arrived, he pointed out that Omar's motorden was not a respondent on that order, and they were not even we were not a respondent on that order. Yet the SIU and the curator opportunistically got a court order against the vehicles by lying to the tribunal that the vehicles were owned and were registered in the name of Maumela. Two months before October, the curator and the SIU had proof on file. They did an e-natives report on the vehicles that were on my floor, and they picked up that those vehicles are showing in the name of Omar's motorden. You have ample time to approach the dealership and ask, how did you acquire these vehicles? When the sheriff realized that there was no order against Omar's motorden, they refused to execute the order. The sheriff then left. But to show good faith and transparency and to avoid wasting money on the hopeless conduct of the SIU, our lawyer reached an arrangement with the curator that in the highly unlikely event that the court finds we not the owner of the Rolls-Royce, the 2 Ferraris and the 2 Astons, we had sufficient assets to cover the value of the vehicles. In other words, we gave security. Our lawyer then gave documents to the curator to prove our claim, including proof of payments. When we went to court in December, the judge called the SIU's investigation sloppy. But ultimately, she set aside the order on the Rolls, the 2 Astons, and the 2 Ferraris that are concerned, and she ordered the SIU to pay our legal costs. Our lawyer has told us that the SIU's conduct resulted in a cost order and that the cost order will be approximately 1 million rand for the legal fees. Regarding this week's issue about the Bentley, it's incorrect that the Bentley advertised for sale and broadcasted by ENCA and other media yesterday is the vehicle concerned. We have a flying spur for sale. They want a Bentley Continental GT. The curator has not given the full picture. Number 1, Drive Time's attorney told the curator in October last year, 2025, that the Bentley was sold to Omar's motorden, and we paid for the vehicle 3 million rand. And Drive Time also told the curator they paid Lutaga Trading 2,920,000 rand. The curator did not disclose that he did not respond to Drive Time's letters. Anyways, this week, when the curator went to court, he didn't disclose that he received a full explanation for the Bentley in October, that he didn't respond to the letter, that he didn't even attempt to enforce the order on the Bentley. And suddenly this week, He now says that the vehicle has exchanged hands but remained on our floor. In December, we sold the vehicle to a customer who paid for the vehicle. Earlier this year, the customer traded the vehicle back in and bought another vehicle. We then sold the vehicle to another customer, and that customer also paid for the vehicle. But most importantly, the curator hasn't been open and honest and explained that the order from September should have been obtained in the first place. The reason I say this is because the tribunal has already ruled and set aside parts of the order on the basis that there was a misrepresentation of facts, suppression of facts, and a sloppy investigation. We said this before, but the mainstream and big media houses won't give coverage because they are helping the SIU cover up their sloppy conduct and cost orders which will cost the taxpayer money in the end. Omar's Motor Den does not sell consignment vehicles. Every single vehicle on our floor is paid for. We are fully compliant with all authorities. When a vehicle is advertised for sale, it is purchased in a bona fide transaction and paid for. We pay fair market value, and that is the reason our dealership is successful. Whenever we purchase and sell a vehicle, we do proper verifications and compliance checks. We had absolutely no reason when we purchased the Bentley vehicle that there was any issue concerning the vehicle, that it belonged to any criminal syndicate or that it was not paid for. So really, we are an innocent third party here. Whatever the issue is, we will take this issue concerning the Bentley to court. We will show exactly what happened. In the interim, we have told our attorneys to cooperate with the curator, and they are going to do that. Thank you.